God.
Thank you, Casey. So Cody, when you were telling us about you get high and just go watch Planet Earth, I was like, I like to do that too. But you were talking about a show and I was thinking about going outside. So I kind of found that amusing because I haven't watched TV in a few years. So I was in court via Zoom Tuesday with Sir Nicholas here. And I got a little bit feisty with the judge. Yeah, I did. And I was, I don't want to go into the details. I ended up pleading guilty, but I'm like, well, that's a lie. You just made me swear to tell the truth. And what the cop said, that's a lie. And he's like, you can change your plea. And I'm like, no, I just want this to be over with. But what the cop said is a lie, and I can't say that's the truth. And he's just like, and I was telling my stepdad the story afterwards, and he's like, oh, so you didn't get any trouble for that? I'm like, no, it was via Zoom. And he's like, well, that's good, because I would have been arrested for that back in the day. Like, well, Zoom calls are great. So I haven't ever really been in trouble with the law, except for one time when I was in high school and I was falsely accused of stealing my mom's checkbook. That was a lie. I didn't. I actually didn't. But anyway, so the other day I was driving and I accidentally skipped this other guy's car trying to get out of the way of an ambulance. It was when it was really icy, when that 2 day we had winter. This guy comes out and he just starts yelling at me and I start having a panic attack, right? Full blown. And then all of a sudden there's a cop there. I don't know how long it took. And this guy's still yelling at me and this cop's like, okay, we're gonna breathe. And this guy's like, and the cop's just like, don't listen to him. And just like, just breathe with me. And he's like, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I am at the corner of Airport Road and Main Street doing Lamaze with about the hottest cop I've ever seen in Billings, Montana. Yeah, it was great. Sorry. I feel like are your ears hurting? Do I need to be quiet? Okay, I'll turn down my voice, sorry. So I have this friend of mine, and he has a hot tub, and he called me one night, and he's like, hello, little one. I'm like, oh, hi, Peter, how are you? And he's like, I'm doing wonderful. I wonder if you'd like to come over and have a soak and a glass of wine. I'm like, well, Peter, I have my kids tonight. If you want to come over and have some wine, that's fine. And he's like, okay, I'll grab a nice bottle, and I'll be right over. I'm like, okay. So Peter comes over with a beautiful, beautiful bottle of wine, and I read his tarot. His tarot looks really good. Peter's going to be successful in money, which he already is, because he's Peter, and he's going to find a new love, right? And so Peter's like, oh, darling, little one. I'm like, yes, Peter. He's like, I have found the right algorithm of the woman that I'm supposed to be with, age-wise. I'm like, oh, what's that? He's like, mine is 31 plus 6. I'm like, oh, that's my age, Peter. And he scooches a little closer. I'm like, okay. And when you put your kids to bed, and you just want them to stay in bed because you want them to sleep and you just want some adult time? My kid came out and she's like rubbing her eyes. I've never been so grateful to see her in my whole entire life. She's like, Mom, what is it Grandpa doing in my living room? And I turn around and I'm like, yeah, Peter, what is a grandpa doing in my living room? And Peter's like, oh, I think that's my time to go home. Yeah, it was Peter's time to go home. And he did. I haven't talked to him since, unless I run into him. But I have bangs. I do it every time I'm feeling a little bit emotionally unstable. About 3 years, every once or 3 years. So, a while back, it was right after I split with my ex-husband, and I was at my friend's house, and we were drinking the alcohol, and I call my best friend at the moment, and I'm like, hey, I'm getting bangs. And he's like, amazing, that's amazing. Go get it, girl. And I was like, oh, that's weird. He's oddly excited. and so I call him back 15 minutes later, and he's like, that was quick. I'm like, yeah, it's so cute. Can I come over? And he's like, yeah, come over. So quick and so cute. And usually I don't understand his confusion because he told me, go do it, man. And so I open his door to his house, and he's like, Jessica, what the fuck did you do to your hair? I'm like, I got bangs. And he's like, I thought you said you were getting banged. Like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. But anyways, that is all I have for you tonight. Thank you.